This is The Industry. A show built by the working class for the working class. If you have a job, this is the podcast for you. Here is your host, Levi Jett.
I have to say, I love that intro.
Why are you laughing already?
If you have a job, this is the show for you. But if you don't have a job, don't watch us.
It's terrible.
Oh,
right. Yeah. Keep your unemployed ass somewhere else. How's it going?
I'm good, man. I am good. How was your birthday bash?
Good. Not bad. I don't know. So, like, put it this way. I had such strong feelings on it that last week's episode was pretty much just my rant about Vegas. Yeah, it was just, it wasn't what I expected, I guess. I mean, I just, you see movies, you see shows, you see all this, stuff about Vegas growing up and not realizing that, you couldn't even have any fun there until you were like 18 or 21 anyway. So, that build up is so long. And then once you become of age, then it's okay, living in Indiana, I mean, that's a trip. So it's all right. Now you got to figure out, how you're going to get to Vegas for a trip. And some of my friends over the years have taken, trips here and there. But again, like I've always said that I wanted to bring enough money with me. You don't want to bring, just a couple $100 to gamble on and then be out of money in the first couple hours you're there. Like that's a real kick in the nuts. So you need to bring, a few $1,000s if you're like me to where you can really, be able to gamble and lose the whole time if that's what happens. But I don't want to have to stop gambling because I'm out of money. I want to have to stop gambling because my flight's leaving,
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that though, man, wasn't bad. Food was good. Drinks were good. Weather was really nice. Weather was like, I don't know, high 70s, low 80s. That real dry weather. Some light winds too. I mean, it was picture perfect. I would go back just for the weather.
Not bad.
All right. So big news really this week in our industry is the formal announcement from East Coast Facilities that they are entering the managed services, the subcontracted type of stuff. That's what they're doing. So right away, I mean, what's your immediate reaction when you heard this information?
I was clapping, man. I feel like it's needed. Someone that is for the subcontractors, for the clients. I think that has been needed in this industry. The same, big players have been in control, and now it's changing. Like he said, he's not coming in, he's and taking everything, but he wants that piece of the pie. And hey, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, he had me clapping too. A lot of his viewpoints of just kind of how really resonates with me. I'm sure it does you more because being a small business owner, and being on company that may get taken advantage of. But to me, like that's that's huge, man. I mean, like that's really up so many different companies
Hmm.
by doing that. Um, and it's not about you're gonna have all this work to give them. It's more about the relationship that you're bringing to the table. That you're gonna this is a sensible contract looks like. This is what sensible payment for this scope of work looks like. And I mean, to me, that's something that absolutely sorely needed um, across the industry of managed services.
Well, and his way of doing it is he's pulling the chair out for you, and he's at the table, and he's like, "Hey, man, here, have a seat." Instead of with other companies, it's, "Hey, I'll record it for you. Here, I'm gonna sit at the table. You wait over there somewhere, and I'll let you know what they say." Like that's a game changer, man. It really is. And you've
Yeah,
already see it like on
it is.
LinkedIn. You could see it where companies are like, "Man, I wouldn't be able to get this contract if it wasn't for FC." And that's to see that right away is crazy. He's serious. He wants to change the game. He wants to bring small players to the table. And man, I mean, it's time. I mean, we're more than capable of doing this.
Yeah, I mean, you would think it's really cool that you don't have to sign non-compete. That's something that will kind of be with some of the contracts I've seen where that non-compete in there, and because again, what level are you going to enforce that? Um, because a lot of times these management companies, like they're uh, a a fleeting relationship. They might have that account for 2 or 3 years, but that guy that's there living in that zip code, he's going to have the opportunity to take that contract for 20,
Hmm.
30, 40. And just because you came in and, were in and out, now this guy can't work for him for the next 28 years? Come on. Um, so, having the brakes put on the non-compete, that's pretty awesome. And then something else that I like, the facility care posted something on LinkedIn talking about a sweeping contract with Nelts in the Chicagoland area. And, not talking about that they don't want the provider to hide their brand and their
Yep.
reputation from who they're servicing. That everything is sold up and up level of, hey, this is what we're doing, like this is who we're working with, and this is why the job's going to get done. That's pretty impressive too, I think.
Well, and they're not afraid to have that relationship with other competitors in the industry. I mean, Nelts, I put it up there with ECF, and for him to be able to build that relationship with Nelts in a city where Nelts I don't even think has a brick and mortar yet, or I'm not sure. I've seen them, like I've talked to you before. I've seen a truck around in the suburbs, but it that I know that they have like an office or anything out here. I don't know of that, but that's to build that relationship with a company like that that's similar to his company is pretty cool. He's not afraid. He wants his competitors to be there in the same level with him, and I think that's awesome.
So something that okay, so do you think this is a disruption to the status quo?
I think so, 100%. And it's funny because you hear the chatter going on from other people in the industry, and it's like some companies are scared. And it's funny because he's not, like he said, he's not going after he's not going after companies. He just wants a seat at the table, but people see it as a threat, and I think that's funny.
Me too. But I think that it's there's not a lot of regulation in in this type of business. Most of these companies don't have many people to answer to outside of the end customer, and if the end customer is used to a rotating service between 5 or 6 different companies out there, I mean, then that's something they're used to. So they're not going to, create a huge stink over it anyway. But to me, I mean, the status quo right now, the way things are done, and if you're a company, you got nothing to worry about. I mean, this isn't a blanket statement to every single company out there, but there are companies who, their relationships, the type of business that they offer, it leaves both the end client and the subcontractor, the sub provider, hurting, and no one wins. And that's something that Joshua said that I really hit home was he wants to create a again a win-win-win type of environment, type of situation. And I mean, that's pretty awesome. I mean, I think that company I work for, Caliber, I think that they do a good job of following type environment. And again, like that's for having success too. But the plenty of companies out there, and I think he, kind of named a few, or well, close to naming a few, that are probably really, really.
Yeah. And even then, like the companies he named, he's like, well, some of their contracts aren't the contracts I'm looking for. He's looking for specific clients. And I think that's how you grow responsibly, looking for specific clients, your space in the industry, and who you want to provide services for. And that's what he's following, something that he's been successful at with ECF, and now he's bringing it to the facility management industry, and it's really awesome. Like I said, man, I keep saying the word awesome, and it is. I'm excited. I always thought the facility management industry was a bit shady. Once I started working in the industry, because before, like I said in other episodes, I didn't know anything about the facility management industry or the management industry until I started working for
Right.
them. And and the
Nor did
so
I.
some of the employees that work there, they're not working there to burn the subcontractor. Like, I truly wanted to help the subcontractor when I worked for
No,
the company I worked for, and I would go to bat for that subcontractor, and I would
100%.
try to get him paid, and I would try to get him as much money as I can on my end while still making the company money. Like, I wasn't when I was out, when we were buyers in a way of helping. um I mean, I wasn't looking to win, a prize for, you know, making the money X amount, the company X amount of money. Like, I was in the game to make my subcontractor X amount of money and make the contract worth it for him. But it's
Yeah,
hard,
I
with
mean,
some of
the game was that you need to spend the money that's going to get the guy to be able to do um and in such you don't get a bonus or something for keeping margins at a certain level. Nothing we ever heard about. So really just for matter of, okay, I don't want to pay the at our best margin that it's going to take another something to really get this job done, or at least even get closer to guess. I mean, because those prices, whether it's the best margin or whether it's the bottom margin, it still is not enough money.
No, that's true.
So I'm looking at, just thinking about the regulation part of all this. If it's able to go out and accomplish what he's wanting to, Gomez, I think that that's the beginning of some of the some regulation. We I've talked about some ideas, kind of off the record, about ways to bring some regulation. Um, but I mean, it's probably a couple years out anyway. Um, but it being sad to consistently screw over a small business, and that's what you do every day. And I think with the FC, you know, people working for FC aren't going to have to be doing that.
Well, no, because he's going to teach these small companies how to actually do business. Like he said, it's going to be a network of people helping people, contractors helping contractors. Oh, you don't know how to calculate your overhead? Here, someone in your area knows how to do it, or someone that's willing to hop on a video conference with you will show you how to work out your overhead, how to come up with a number that you need to be making, how to do whatever you need to do in your company. And that, I think it's great. And I mean, I even looked into their application form, like I was going through it. And man, the questions they ask you, it's really like, it's very detailed. It's nothing like,
Really?
because with other companies, you go, you write your email, your name, a little bit of info, and really that's it. Someone calls you, it's like, hey, I have this contract, blah blah blah. It's this. This is what we have to do. This is what we need from you. That's it. With this, man, it's like you have to check a bunch of boxes. Like you have to be serious. If you're not serious, it's not like you're not gonna be able to join. Like it's for people to
Yeah.
take business serious and want to, grow in their industry and grow their company.
I mean, that's really really awesome. And I mean, it's funny because for a while now, you know, not not the FC stuff. Um, they have been very much a talking point, throughout the industry, what they're doing, and people watching and people paying attention. And it's another cool thing to hear the care that they prioritize with their frontline workers,
Hmm.
the guys out there getting the job done. And I'm not sure necessarily what they do or how they do it, but I've heard that they the goal is to make them a retirement nest, so to speak. To get them enough benefits and to show them safe investing, probably to one day they can retire from the industry, where I'm gonna guess not of um, companies that don't have any care for doing something like that.
No, man. I mean, locally, it's you go to these big players, and I call them big players because it's companies that handle big contracts and multi-million dollar companies. They don't offer health insurance. Some of them don't offer 401k. And I'm not talking about their full-time employees. All office personnel get those benefits, but I'm talking about the guys in the field. The guys in the field do not get any benefit whatsoever. And like he said, these are guys that are immigrating to this country that don't have the money, that don't have the means to try to get health insurance, to try to start a retirement plan because they come here to make money. Like that's their retirement plan is, hey, I'm going to go to this country, make as much money as I can, and live off of that, while when I get old. But it's people that get taken advantage of, man. And it's funny when I first heard of Joshua is when we were working in the industry, and our manager at the time was like, hey man, like look into this guy. Like he's throwing shade at everyone in the management world, and like he just talks, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. So me being a loyal person, I looked into him, and I was like I got a little offended. But the more and more I read what he was doing in his plans and how he treated his people, man, it aligned with everything that I believe in and everything that I've been trying to do on my end, locally here, is try to bring some sort of benefit, or some sort of something to the guys that are actually doing this work, for multi-million dollar companies. Everyone else that sits, like I said, that's full time, sits in an office, or including the owner, they have all these benefits, and these guys that are making them the money, they don't have anything. And it's crazy, but that's the truth, man. And what he's doing is awesome. And like I said, all I could do is applaud and hope this dude, makes it. And he is, man. He's doing it, and he's doing it right.
Yeah, it's you notice it a lot differently when I mean you're talking to someone like yourself, like I say, who's got a small business, who understands that again, if the frontline workers are not being treated like the office workers, and you call a group of people in the office operations staff, and I mean, true to a point, but your real operations staff are the people actually working to get the job. Um, and those people deserve a seat at the table, and they deserve the same stuff, the same chances, the same benefits. Word I'm looking for,
Hmm.
the same as the office staff. I mean, it's something that it glad to see it happen, but it's sad that like it's taken this to happen. And not only that, but like you said, I mean, like there's haters out there. Look at what's happening over there with kind of a slanted eye, if you will. And I really just don't understand it because again, going back to our ticker down here, good service companies have nothing to worry about.
Hmm.
The companies out there that are doing it the right way, and I mean, again, you have nothing to worry about. Like this guy is not going to be able to and really grab your market share because you're already doing a good job. You're doing what he's advertising he'll do. So it's kind of a tie at that point. It's the people out there that again are doing exactly what he claims some companies are doing. Those are the ones that again I'm sure are having a hard time sleeping as this thing continues to grow. But
But
no,
even then,
yeah,
like he's not going after the companies that are chasing small retail, and what we talked about the other episode. He's not going after these
sure.
companies. He's going for, I don't know, cream of the crop. Like he wants good paying contracts, and I think he's gonna get them.
Yeah, me too. Especially when you're able to show because if you're in the sub manager or subcontracting game, what those subcontractors think of you, and if you're able to show your customer, hey, doing that work, this is what we're doing, frontline operations employees. it's strategy. I mean, you're going to look way better than the competition. Even before you get into technology or, your equipment, your offices, none of that matters. If you're able to come out swing that, it's going to be really, really, really hard to bat against that opinion.
Not only that, like the way he's building his sub network is phenomenal, man. Like who does that? Who's gonna take the time to invest time into teaching these guys what they need to know? And I mean, really, that's smart on his end, because the application you have to fill to join FC. I mean, you're weeding out the bad subcontractors, and you're getting good, reliable guys that are out there and going to do quality work. And you know what that's going to save you at the end? Time in looking at pictures and being like, man, is this guy really doing his job? Think about it. If you're an account manager with FC and all your subs are reliable and they all do the same quality work, like that makes your job hell of a lot easier. Not only that, it saves personnel, because think about all the people we needed to make sure the contracts were getting fulfilled. Like that was a lot of people. Think about it. And if you have some good subs, you need half of that, if that,
No, you do. And it's something that you can do to that relationship. You're always going to have, I mean, an easier time is doing everything. Something you'll hear a lot is, a good provider will, do anything for you. And the good relationship will get you anything that you want. And that's really what it is. I mean, and again, he's East Coast facilities care, they're tip of the spear, when it comes to, treating their people right and building this the right way. Again, other companies out there, they've work to do. Figure out how they're going to stay relevant, and really ever be able to go to the same clientele. So kind of moving on a little bit, got some new branding here going on with the podcast. The dressed up versions of me and Carlos down there at the bottom, along with our social media and stuff. We are brought to you by Jet Facility Consultants, my company. And then we're just testing some stuff out on this new platform. Before we used Riverside FM, and it was okay, but we wanted a little bit something more out of it. And noticed that the folks over at Coffee at the Peak use StreamYard, so we looked into this platform to see what it could do for us. And so far we like it pretty well. And something else that we're going to do is kind of overall shorten the times of our podcast down, to be kind of focused heavily on one topic, and then kind of remove any fluff or anything else. So really want to keep it around about a 30-minute podcast, which we're coming up on really soon. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to catch us, and as always, we enjoyed having you.
Listening to The Industry, a show built by the working class for the working class. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. While you're at it, help us spread the word by leaving a rating and review. Thanks for listening to The Industry, a show built by the working class for the working class. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.